Hello. Hi, ladies. Hi, Kendall. Nice to see you. Carolyn, nice to see you. Um, how are you doing? Want to ask, did you notice that I switched things up? I used to send out an email just for my classes on Thursdays. And my podcast, I switched my podcast release date to Thursday. So I actually combine now my podcast with my class reminders. So it may be a little confusing for some. I think that that's been some of what I've heard. Um, the thing is not everybody can come live. I get that. I mean, I plan my life around my live teaching. Of course, I need to be here, right? So I plan my life around it, honestly. And I do it. And it's been great for me to have this 5 classes I teach a week because I need to and have to show up. And then I see the results. I mean, yesterday in class, ladies were telling me, they said, we try to do what you do, or something like, we're glad when you say it's hard for you because you're so strong. And if you say it's hard, then we know, like, yes, this is a hard thing. I thought that was interesting yesterday in class to hear that. My yoga for osteoporosis class that I teach every Tuesday for a hospital, I had 28 women in that class on Tuesday. So, and half of them are live. Well, more than half, about 19 were live. So good for you for showing up live. And then the other thing is there's a lot of people that watch this in replay. So whether it's this week when they can get to it, especially for those that work, or it could be years later. And that's one thing that's great as well, because these are recorded, then they are there forever. So you could go back and watch them. One thing I will say about YouTube is there can be a lot of commercials if you have the free version of YouTube. So it can get a little frustrating. So what I recommend is that there is a paid version of YouTube where you don't have commercials. Kind of frustrating, right? You're in Warrior 2, standing there working so hard, and then the commercial comes. It's like, whoa, wait, how much longer? So that's what I wanted to say. Anyway, one thing I want to also say, I sent out a newsletter today. I have a lot of people I send newsletters to, right? So of course there's going to be some reactivity at some level. And today's podcast is Dr. Jeff Gross. He's a medical doctor. He actually did spinal surgery. He's a neural spinal surgeon who no longer does surgery and who's completely changed the way he practices medicine to be more lifestyle based and to be more preventative, which it's exactly what most of us are looking for, is that kind of a mindset. And this woman was like, you can't say reverse aging. We don't reverse aging. Well, we can say that because actually what we do is our lifestyle accelerates aging. So we have the ability to stimulate the triggers of accelerating aging and going against the grain of what the natural pace would be. And so here today in this class, the title or the topic is strength and stability for, in this case, summer activities. But depending, if you're on the Southern Hemisphere, then it's not summer activities for you. And I have a lot of women in Australia and New Zealand, it's winter. I was just talking with one of my friends in Peru and she's all bundled up. And I'm like, oh my gosh, it's 80 degrees here today in Southern California. So anyway, for those that are live, if you have any questions or areas that are bothering you, I would love to hear about them, because then I can tailor the class to you or to your needs. And I love doing that. I love when people tell me something that's going on in their body, because then I go into the resources of my mind and I say, oh, well, we need to do this for the hips or this for the back or this for the upper body or whatever it is. So if you'd like, Kendall and Carolyn, you're telling me that you're here. I'm not sure who else is here. If you'd like to tell me what you need or want, then I could sprinkle some of that into whatever it is I already have planned, which most often is organic. Low back, a little sore. All right, Kendall. So the stability piece of today is working on the stabilizing muscles, the trunk muscles. And so when we do the core muscles, we're supporting our back. So we'll definitely get some of that in there. All right. So let me go back. I see a couple more people. Oh, picking strawberries. Wow. How awesome. So neat, right? I was walking down the aisle at the supermarket, I think last night, and I smelled peaches. And I thought, how cool is this? It's peach season, right? And I just thought, how cool is that to actually walk down an aisle near the peaches and smell them? It's like, wow, because I feel like we do so much bad stuff to our food supply. We frankenfood our food supply, but to actually smell it, I thought, oh, they're real. Okay, today's practice, or this practice, yeah, that's what I'll say. Okay, so this practice, I'd like you to have a chair today. We're going to use a chair for some of what we're doing, and then a blanket, a strap, and block. And a wall. You could be near a wall. You don't necessarily always need a wall though if you have your chair. So go ahead and grab a chair if you can, because we're going to begin with our chair. And if you don't have a chair and you don't want to go grab a chair, you could begin with your legs up the wall, which is a really nice way to relax the low back if you're having low back issues. Also, legs up the chair is a great way to reduce or lower low back issues, or back issues in particular, but usually they are in the lower back. So having a chair to put our legs up the chair or legs up the wall can be nice and therapeutic for any kind of low back discomfort. And that is a main area. The number 1 and 2 reasons why people see pain doctors are for headaches and back pain. So we're probably getting a lot of people here that have these potential issues. So get your chair or the wall. Let me just show you the wall in case you were going to do that, because I'd like you to have those options. I'd like you to give you a little tutorial on how to get up the wall, because that can be something. Now, when you do your legs up the wall, your tushy and your legs will touch the wall, but your tushy does not have to touch the wall. It will touch the wall if you're a pretty limber person. But if you're not that limber, then it's not going to touch the wall. It's a lot of hamstring work. So if you did want to go to the wall, you'd start with your buttock touching the wall. And then when you come down onto the ground, you just bring your legs up. So that would be for those of you that are doing legs up the wall. This is great. The legs really sink deep into the pelvis. It relaxes the low back, relaxes the pelvis. Tremendous for those that have an acute low back issue. So if you are in a place where your back is bothering you, the legs up the wall can be really nice. And legs up the chair, which is what I intended for our practice today. So I'm going to do the legs up the chair. If you want to do legs up the wall, you do the legs up the wall. So to do legs up the chair, always when we're moving, making sure we're not crunching our front spine. We want to make sure we maintain the integrity there. So you come down onto the ground. If you reach your hand away, that's a really nice way to get into this position. And then you want your legs to go up onto the chair. Now, the key thing about legs in the chair, or legs on a sofa, legs on an ottoman, whatever it is you do, make sure that you have total support of your legs. That will release the low back. So here, I have a space to put my feet through the back of the chair. If you don't, I would turn the chair to the side so your feet hang off the chair. What you want to make sure is that the back of the leg goes to the chair. So back of the leg to the chair. And then have your blanket be only underneath your head, and try not to have too big of a fold. So really try to be in the same level here with the head, the neck, and the torso. And then the arms can go out to the side, and then close your eyes. So let your legs completely be supported. The backs of the upper thighs are touching the chair. And then pay attention, just notice here if you need to make any adjustments. And then lift your head, lengthen your back neck, tuck your chin towards your chest. Take your arms, raise your arms up. So let's do a little here to release any tension. Notice here, is there tension in the front of the shoulders, front of the chest? So ironically, when you have low back discomfort, which happens often, sometimes it may be coming from the upper body. If you are doing a lot of sitting or a lot of forward head movement, or actively doing something like gardening or reaching for something, that may be another contributor. So we want to also take out whatever is here congestion-wise in the upper body, in the chest and the shoulder joint area. So lift your head, lengthen your neck, take an inhale. And as you exhale, slowly let your head roll in one direction. Go all the way to where you feel that stretch, and then inhale back up, exhale the other direction. Inhaling back to center, exhaling into the opposite direction. You exhale into the stretch, you inhale back to center. So go slow. Feel this in your body. Be very present in your body when you do this move. And then finish one more each direction. Bringing yourself back to center. The arms are to the side. Take an inhale. As you exhale, slowly bring the arms up towards the sky. Bend the elbows and hug yourself. Reach the hands as far away from each other as possible. Reach around to hug yourself. Inhale to reach up, out to the sides, and down. That's your inhale. Your exhale, you reach up. You crisscross your arms in opposite directions each time you come up. Hug yourself. Go slow. Go with breath. A moving breath, a moving meditation. Inhale to open, to receive, to expand. Exhale to close. Inhale to open. Exhale to close. Feel what's happening in your body. Notice whatever it is you notice. Do one more like this. And then bring yourself to an open position. Arms are pretty high towards the wall behind you to feel a stretch in the chest. Let's do a little bit of manipulation of your pelvis, tilting the pelvis back. Make it gentle. Take an inhale. As you exhale, grab a blueberry at the bottom of your torso. So imagine you're drawing inward to grab onto a blueberry and then release. No movement of the pelvis yet. Just you feel down at the very bottom of your body and drawing inward to center, contracting pelvic floor muscles, and an exhale to relax pelvic floor. Inhale to relax, exhale to contract. Holding on to the blueberry with the exhale, slowly releasing on the inhale. Now we're going to activate the rest of the core. The rest of the core wraps around, the waist gets smaller, and you push the lower ribs towards the floor, and you flatten the low back into the floor. So it's a big, slow contraction, activation of core muscles, movement of the pelvis, and then go back to neutral. Inhale to soften and to release. Exhale, grab the blueberry, wrap, hug your lumbar spine with your core muscles, push your lower ribs towards the ground, flatten your low back into the floor. Inhale back to neutral. Feel the low back moving away from the ground, pressure going back into the middle of the pelvis. Exhale to contract. Inhale to release. Go slow. So feel the slow release of the muscles on the inhale, and on the exhale, slowly contract and move your pelvis slowly with this movement. Exhale, contract, flatten the low back. Inhale to release. Feel the movement of your pelvis with this action. Few more. And then one more. And then release, let your body go back to neutral. Let everything relax. And then bring movement into your fingers, your toes. If your eyes are closed, go ahead and blink your eyes open. Take your arms up to the sky. Let's bring the legs up into the sky. Shake your limbs, shake your arms, shake your legs. Bring your toes into a pointed position. Inhale, and on the exhale, flex your feet. Inhale to point, exhale to flex. Inhale, point, exhale, flex. Now, if this is hard for you to hold your legs up there, draw the legs closer to the chest. It'll reduce some of the weight. If you want a little bit of a stronger workout, you take your legs farther away and have them come right out of the hips. Point and flex. Point and flex. Notice when you move your legs away, how the chest wants to come off the floor, the low back, so you have to turn on the stabilizing muscles in the trunk to keep yourself in this neutral position. Now you're going to take the ankles, you're going to go really slow circles. The only thing moving are your ankle joints. Your legs are stationary. Your ankles are moving in one direction, and then your ankles are moving in the other direction. Feel that articulation, feel that stretch coming into the ankles. And then let's tap the heel down onto the chair, one heel and then the other. If you don't have a chair, you just do this in the air. We're bending and unbending the knees, so now we're activating the quads and the hamstrings, warming up the muscles. If you reach through the heel when you come up towards the sky and you try to flatten your foot up towards the sky, then you're going to get stretching coming in the back, the posterior chain, into your foot, into your Achilles tendon, into your calf. And then draw your knees into your chest really deep, rocking side to side. So warming up core, trunk muscles, stabilizing muscles, leg muscles, hip muscles. And then we're going to do a little bit here on the chair. So go ahead and put your legs back on the chair and grab your block. See if you could put your block between your knees. Put your block between your knees and then do some pressing in to feel that activation of the inner thigh muscles, turning on the inner thigh muscles, which begins the whole center midline activation, that stabilizing aspect. I like to think of this like a carousel pony, and in the merry-go-round, whatever is on that pole, that's where that center is. So the center midline of stability in our body. And when it comes to fall and fracture prevention, that's what we need to work on, is this whole stabilizing aspect of our body. So squeezing the block, feel that activation. Take your hands, bring your hands behind your head, and let your elbows go out to the side. Take an inhale. As you exhale, squeeze the block, activate the pelvic floor by grabbing a blueberry. Tilt your pelvis back, flatten your low back into the floor strongly, and then inhale to release. Exhale to contract, push the knees in, feel the activation of the core when you tilt your pelvis back. And then one more like this. Now you're going to inhale, and as you exhale, lift your upper body up, flatten your low body into the ground, nose towards the sky, elbows are out towards the sides. Slowly lower down on the inhale. Go slow. Exhale to rise, and inhale to lower. Exhale to rise, inhale to lower. Really flatten that low back into the ground. And then one more. Bring yourself down. Take an inhale here. This time when you come up, don't flatten your low back. Activate the core. So begin by squeezing the block, activating your core without tilting your pelvis, and bring yourself up and then lower down. So feel that contraction, hug the lumbar spine, elbows out, nose up. And on your next one, you're going to come up and stay up. Stay here, squeeze the block. The weight, you feel that pressure in the middle of your pelvis. Elbows are out to the side. Take one more breath. And then go ahead and bring yourself down. Take the block out to the side. Draw your knees into your chest. So warming up those stabilizing muscles. So because we have the chair here, we're going to do a little bit of bridge with the chair. So this could be a lot of work for the back of the body. So for strengthening the back of the body. And we could get a little bit more undulation to come into our spine. So we're going to do a bridge. So we need the blanket to be removed from the back of our head. And then the heels are what will go into the chair here. The arms will go down alongside the body. So bend your elbows, lift your rib cage up so you can slide your shoulder blades closer together. And then lift your head, lengthen your back neck. So your heels are on the chair. Let's slowly first tilt your pelvis back and then lift your body up and then bring yourself down. So go slow at first here and only lift the pelvis off the floor to about the low ribs. Squeeze the buttocks. Now, if you get cramps, especially because we're pushing our heels, this is very posterior chain, so we're in the back of the body. If you get cramps, some of the way to help with cramps is to use a liquid mineral. So to use minerals in your water to hydrate yourself and to stretch your body. So those are tightness, dehydration, and mineral imbalances can contribute to cramping. So if you get cramping, focus on those three areas. Push yourself up. You're going to feel that work. It's really a lot of work here for the back body. And then bring yourself up, little pulses. Pushing your pelvis up towards the sky. Heels are in, toes are off. You're only off to about the lower ribs. And then slowly bring yourself down. Take your legs up, take them wide out to the side in a happy baby. Draw your knees in. Feel that, a lot of hamstring, belly of the hamstring work, keeping those hamstrings nice and strong. Then bring your feet down. So we'll see if we could go a little higher here. Make sure you don't look side to side when you do this. Arms are down alongside your body. Tilt your pelvis back, push your feet into the floor. See if you can bring yourself up. So now you come so that the weight goes to your heart, not straight down to your head. So you've got to bend your spine here to keep this safe. And then you slowly lower down on the inhale. Go slow with this. Exhale to bring yourself up. Inhale to bring yourself down. Exhale. One more. So the weight does not go down to the head and neck. You bend your spine, you bring the weight towards the heart area, and then go ahead and lower. And draw your knees wide and into that happy baby again. So we're going to move the chair away. So if you know that you could safely push your chair away from the bottom without it collapsing, you could do that. Or you could actually move yourself so that you get up and move your chair. So do whatever is appropriate for you. Now, some chairs collapse, so you want to be careful and you want to know what's appropriate for you to do. So get your block and bring your block between your knees. We're going to do the bridge pose now with a block, walking your feet closer to your body. Again, push your elbows into the floor and your head. Lift your torso, slide your shoulder blades together, and then lift your neck, lengthen the back of your head. Keep your arms alongside your body. We're going to use those upper arm bones to lift the body even more. Bring your feet closer, toes are pointing forward, and walk your feet so they're only about 4 inches apart, not too wide. Squeeze the block, tilt the pelvis back, push the feet into the floor, push away from the floor, lift your body off the floor, push your arms into the floor, feel that work in the back of the body, using the arms a lot, and then inhale to lower. Exhale to rise. Inhale to lower. On the next one, you're going to come up and stay. We're going to hold this. Push your feet into the floor, squeeze the block, push away from the floor with your arms, squeeze your buttocks, push your arms up. Close your eyes if you'd like. Feel that work in the back of the body. Digging the arms into the ground, squeezing the block, feet press into the ground. Squeeze that block, press the arms into the floor. Really push away so that you're getting all that work in the back of your body. Strengthening your spine, strengthening your stability. Push the arms in, squeeze the block, push the feet in, squeeze the buttocks. Give it your all. Really push away from the floor a lot with your arms. Push your spine up towards the sky. Take one more breath. And then slowly, slowly bring yourself down. Take the block out. Bring the blanket back. Come into that happy baby. So draw the knees in deep. Put the soles of the feet up towards the sky. This is happy baby. Relaxes low back discomfort. We're using our back. We were strengthening our back in that movement. And then put your feet on the floor. So we're going to stretch our hamstring. So we were doing a lot today with the hamstring so far. So the hamstring attaches behind the knee onto the lower leg bone, and it also attaches onto the pelvis. So you have this distance of your hamstring muscle at the back of your leg. We're going to do big toe stretch pose, it's called. And we're going to try to stretch and pull on the pelvis where the tendons are of the hamstring muscle. So you want to be careful here that you don't tilt your pelvis back when you do the stretch. So if you pull your leg too far here, too far towards the back wall, you may tilt your pelvis back to get that action. Try to stay in a neutral pelvis when you do this big toe pose. So get your strap. And then just a couple of things about this, because when we do this posture for osteoporosis or bone health, it is different than just putting the strap on your leg and pulling your leg as far back to the wall as possible. So take your strap and put your strap on the arch of the foot. And then we want to strengthen our hands while we're here, our hands for grip strength, because there is a link between weak grip strength and fracture risk. So let's take the hands long and up towards the foot. So no bend in the elbows. Don't hold your arms down here. Walk your hands up the strap. You're holding the right hand with the right strap, left hand. So don't hold the strap with both hands. Have them separate. This is going to give you more opportunity. Now pull the leg down towards the floor so you feel really rooted in that pelvis, and slowly take the other leg long. So the other leg is long, and now if putting that other leg is long and it feels too uncomfortable for your hip or your body, go ahead and bend the knee. So you could do this either way. Now pull that leg down so you feel deeply rooted in the ground. Push that knee away from you. You want a straight leg. So if you need to move away from your body to get a straight leg, do that. And then you could wrap your hands around to get a nice firm hold. Pull that foot down. Let's enter the posture. Push the other leg into the floor. Push that knee away from you. And let's begin by pulling the leg towards the wall behind you. Feel that stretch at the back of your leg and feel really a lot of heaviness in that buttock as you pull the leg towards the back and you pull on the edge of your pelvis, stressing the pelvic bone out here, pulling on the pelvic bone here in this moment so that you could have strength and flexibility and increased range of motion in your hip complex. So if you slip, trip, or stumble or fall outside or another day, you'll have this range of motion in your hips. So push the leg away, pull the leg back. Feel that tension, that stretch at the back of your thigh. Toes are pulling down towards the ground, heel up towards the sky. Foot is in a nice functional position. Don't let your foot be angled. Try to get it so that the sole of the foot is pushing up towards the sky. Pull that leg back, push away, resist. Take one more breath. And then go ahead and release. Let's go immediately into the inner thigh stretch. So keep the strap there. Now take that side leg, whatever leg you have, take that hand, take the strap, and slide the arm down and away so the elbow goes out to the sky. Keep that leg high as you lengthen out to the side. Now you want to stay high the whole time. If your foot starts to go forward to get lower, then come back up and start again and go out to the side. So you're at the side the whole time you're coming into this. Go to where is appropriate for you. If you need to manage the weight of your leg, you could put a block underneath your leg on this side or a bolster or pillow or something. Push the opposite leg into the floor. Draw that leg up towards the wall behind you. Push into the arch part of the strap. The other side, let's turn on the stability of the pelvis. Contract the core, push that side buttock down towards the ground. Push into the arch part of the strap. Leg is going towards the wall behind you. Heart up towards the sky. Make sure your opposite side is stable. You're pushing into the arch. You're drawing that leg towards the wall behind you. Feel that pretty strong stretch in the inner thigh area. Take one more breath. And then bring your leg back up to center. Let's switch. The opposite leg, you take the arch into the strap and you bring the opposite leg straight down or bend that leg, whatever's appropriate for your body. Take your hands and walk your hands up the strap. So we're pulling on the bones here for bone stimulation, increasing flexibility and range of motion in your body for fall and fracture prevention. That's what we are focusing on. Arms are straight, wrap your hands around. Begin by pulling down to feel that pressure in the ground. Push that knee away from you so you feel that action in your body already. And then enter the posture by pulling the leg towards the wall behind you. So you push the leg away, you pull back, and pull down to feel that rootedness of the buttock into the ground. Push away, pull back. Push away, pull back. Toes are to you, heel up towards the sky. Pull down, push that leg away and pull back. Create as much tension as you can. Take one more breath and then go ahead and release. So try to give it your best effort when you're in this posture. And then we'll go to the other inner thigh stretch on this side. So take your hand and both pieces in the strap. Take your arm long and out to the side. Keep your leg high as you lengthen that leg out to the side. Go as far down as you can go. I'll show you here that you could use a wall or a chair if you need help with the weight of your leg. Maybe you're not as flexible yet in your adductor muscle group. Making sure you stabilize and keep the other side down to the ground with the muscles of your body, pushing that side down. That leg is moving towards the wall behind you. Push into the arch part of the strap. Feel the stretch on the inner thigh from where it attaches onto the pelvis and then onto that inner knee joint. This is also a good stretch for knee and hip health. So keeping your joints nice and healthy to minimize discomfort and pain so you're more likely to do more. And then to keep that alignment to reduce wear and tear and breakdown in your body. Push into the arch part of the strap, leg towards the wall behind you. And feel that stretch. Take one more breath. And then bring that leg back up to center. Take both feet up into the strap. Take your feet wide, wide, wide. Hold on to the strap, really wide legs, and then just take your legs towards the wall behind you. This stretches the lower back, the glutes. Try to keep your legs straight when you do this and let them be really wide. Pulling towards the wall behind you. Lift your head, lengthen your neck. So flexibility is one of the important elements for our bone health, to reduce fractures, to reduce falls, or to give your joints more communication and timing in between a stumble or a trip. So either you could elongate the fall or react during the fall, or maybe even not fall at all because you have all of that range of motion in your body. Take one more breath. And then go ahead and bring yourself out of that. Take the strap away. Let's come on to our side from here, pushing up and come on to the blanket. Come on to all fours. Let your body settle here. Push yourself side to side. Keep your head active, your upper back active, looking forward, side to side. And then bring yourself back to center. Keep your weight going forward and then back. Spread your fingers. When you go forward, feel the wrist, feel the hands. And when you go back, feel the glutes. Forward and back. And then bring yourself all the way up. Let's take the wrists. Roll your wrists around. Keep your arms stationary as you move your hands around in one direction and then in the other. And then open and close. And then articulate your fingers. Okay, let's come into plank. Plank is a great front body strengthener when we talk about stability in our body. Really important to have this strength in our body. So bring your hands onto the ground, point your fingers or forward, spread your fingers a lot. Let's take one foot back and push back so you're stretching your calf here. Do a little bit of movement forward and back. Keep your head active and forward. Spread your fingers. And then again, pushing your weight back so you move out of the wrist. This is to get you to understand that there is a forward and backward movement. And when we move back, we protect we stretch our calf. So come back to center. Let's come into plank. So if you need the modification, you could come forward and let your whole torso go forward. And then managing the weight of your body forward is the modification. Or if you're doing the full plank, come here and bring yourself up, knees are off the floor. Make sure your hands are spread, pointer fingers are forward, and then push your weight back and feel how the calves activate here. Push the knees up towards the wall, up towards the sky. And then bring your awareness to the left foot. Make sure that all 5 toes are bending and you're on the ball of your foot. And then the right foot, same thing. Make sure it's not just focused on the big toe or the second toe. And then take an inhale, and as you exhale, push your feet into the floor or your knees if you're in the modification, and try to drag your feet up towards your lower ribs and feel how that activates your core muscles. Keep your head lifted here. Again, inhale. And as you exhale, feel like you're dragging your feet up towards your low ribs, deeply activating those structure and core muscles of the trunk. Inhale, exhale, pelvic floor, hug your lumbar spine, push the low ribs up. And then release. Bring your awareness to your fingertips. Push the left fingers into the floor, all of them, including the thumb. Push the right fingers in, including the thumb. Take an inhale. Bring your awareness to your hands and try to slide your hands back towards your feet. Feel that activating the front of your body on the exhale. Inhale to release. Exhale, feel like your hands are sliding back to your feet. One more. And then bring yourself down. Come into a kneeling position if your knees will let you. Close your eyes. Capture your breath. Close your mouth and breathe deep. Breathe down to your pelvis to slow down the heart rate. And then go ahead and open your eyes. So we'll do a modification of a balancing half moon. So putting our body onto the side and balancing there. Give you modifications for this. Get your block. And we're doing the modification. This balancing half moon is typically a standing posture where we roll onto the side of our hip joint. We're going to roll onto the side of the hip joint here, but we're going to do this with our being in a modification. So only the femur bone in that hip joint is what we're going to be stimulating, which is really important for bone health. So let's do the left side first. So bring your block onto your right side. Spread your fingers. And then take your left foot and you're going to keep the left knee on the floor, but slide the left foot off to the side. So I'll show you on this leg so you see. Your knee stays forward, you slide your foot off to the side. So slide the left foot off to the side. Bring your block right about your pelvis height and push into the block and open up your body to the side here. So you have your right foot, the right big toe is in alignment with your knee. Don't have that right foot forward. Try to bring the right foot back so it's in alignment with your whole body. And then if you can, bring your hand onto your waist and push your right elbow back. Now from here, lift that right leg so that it's as high as your body. Keep lifting that leg, strengthening the lateral chain, the side body, that's important. And pull your toes towards you. Elbow is back, and now bring the arm up. Push that right arm back. So you're stacking your body. You're trying to turn forward with your body. You're on that side hip joint, that left hip. Keep your leg lifted so that you're in alignment with your body. Your arm is up. Reach your hand back. Now, for those of you that can, you could bend your knee, bringing your heel towards your buttock, and reach back and grab for the top foot. Not necessary if you cannot do this. You could stay where we were. But if you could come into this back bend, try the back bend, reaching long with that leg. Whatever you do, keep that right leg lifted in alignment with your body to strengthen the side of your body. The leg that's on the ground, we are rolled into weight bearing on the side of that hip capsule, creating strength in the side of that hip. And then come back to the original position if you were in that bent knee position. And from here, slowly bring yourself out. Let's come to center for a second. So that was strengthening the side hip of the leg on the ground. The leg that's lifted, you're going against gravity with that side body. So you're strengthening your side hip. Then keeping your head lifted in that position is strengthening the neck muscles as well. So strengthening the lateral chain, really important for fall prevention, fracture prevention, and healthy everything, healthy joints, healthy spine. Catch your breath, breathe down to your belly. Notice the heart rate. When the heart rate accelerates, that means you're using a lot of muscles. So when we want to develop strength in our body, that's one of the indicators, especially when you're doing something like yoga, where you're not out walking fast or running or doing something like that would increase your heart rate, but rather you're here in one location, accelerating your heart rate because you're demanding more from muscles. And the muscles are saying, I need more oxygen, I need more oxygen. Breath increases, heart rate increases. Close your eyes, catch your breath. So we're going to come to the other side. So bring your block with you. Coming to the other side, now we're going to come to the right side. So you come onto all fours, spread your fingers, take your right foot and slide your right foot off to the side. Then you bring your hand onto your block. This will help push your upper body open towards the front, and then bring that left leg now onto the inner big toe of the left foot, and in alignment with the left knee, hand goes on your waist. From here, you lift your left leg up, so it's in alignment with your body. A little hard to look down to check because balance is involved here. You could try that if that works for you. It's good maybe to practice this in front of a mirror just to see where are you. I notice a lot, I teach live classes, I see live people doing this often, so usually the leg is down too much. You really want to lift that leg up, challenging the side of that hip joint and that glute medius muscle on this upper leg side. Then if you're able to, bring your arm up, push your arm back so that you can work with the balance more, and then bring length into your spine. So lengthen your spine and rotate forward and up. Toes are pulling towards you, sole of the foot away from you, keep that leg lifted. Once you're here, if you feel pretty solid here, you could bend that upper leg, reach back, hold on to that top foot, and come into a back bend. So go according to what's appropriate for you. You could try to continue and build onto this once you start in one position, so you find what's appropriate for you. Lengthen your spine. Keep that leg lifted. Pull those toes towards you if your leg is straight. If you're in this position, push into that foot, add more of a back bend. And then come back to the neutral if you're here. Arm up, keep that leg lifted, arm back. Take one more breath. And then you bring yourself out and bring yourself all the way back to a kneeling position if that feels appropriate for your body. Close your eyes, catch your breath. Breathe down to your pelvis. Take one more breath. So I'd like to do a little work on getting up and down off the floor. And this can become an issue. I see it often in the population that I work with. And I see it in my classes. I see the live classes where people can come to a class that's on a mat, but at some point they feel really precarious about getting up and down off the floor. And we need to maintain this strength and this range of motion in our joints to be able to get ourselves up and down off the floor. We need that for independence so that if we do fall, we can get ourselves back up. We also, as we age, we go to the bathroom all day long. So we need to be able to lower down in our joints, do what we need to do, and then get back up from that position. So maintaining that strength in our joints from a standing position to a bending and loading into the joints position is really hard, really important, and becomes hard for a lot of people. So let's get the chair for this. So get your chair and have your blanket. So starting off with a blanket on the floor and having a chair nearby. And then you're going to have the leg that's near the chair, we're going to use that one first. Now make sure, this is what's going to set yourself up for success. Make sure that your ankle and your knee are either in alignment or your foot's a little forward of your knee, but not back of your knee. So come into this position, and then your back toes are bent, so you're on the ball of your foot. Take your hand on your waist, push your elbow back. This will keep your shoulders on the back and stop any rounding in your spine. And then you're going to use your hand, use your fingertips if you can. At first, maybe you need the heel of the hand, and then you work towards the fingertips. You're going to push forward, push into the chair, and just come up a little bit out of that, and then bring yourself down. So you could turn this into a strengthening exercise where you practice this coming up and down. Now the key is that front leg, push into that front heel, push that front knee towards the chair so you don't allow the knee to collapse in. Let's do one more of those. And then bring yourself down. You should feel the strength back at the front leg, at the glute area. You'll feel your quadriceps on the other side. So keeping the leg muscles strong so you could safely get up and down off the floor is really important for healthy aging and for our bone health. So come to the other side. You bring the foot forward. Make sure that you have that alignment in your front leg. Your back foot flips under, so you're on the ball of the foot. Push that elbow back. And then bring yourself up, push that front heel in, push that front knee, and then lower. Do this a couple of times. And you're gonna feel that strength. One more, push that front heel in, push the knee to the chair, and this time, come all the way up. Bring yourself up and out. So practicing lowering down in your joints. You could do this at the chair. Another place that you could do this would be at the wall, where you practice lowering down, or on a table. So practice lowering down, and the key here, keep your knee pressing towards the side. When you do this, make sure your knee doesn't collapse in. Make sure that doesn't happen. So you push your knee to the side as you practice lowering down. This weight bearing loading in your hip and your knee is going to keep you nice and strong in your joints. You could also do that at a table, at a countertop, something you could do quite often, especially if this is an area that you struggle in, to keep your body strong. So keeping the joints strong, I believe, is one of the most amazing components of yoga when it comes to healthy aging and when it comes to bone health. All right, so clearing your space. Now let's clear nicely. So this applies to gardening, picking strawberries, or anything that you're bending forward to do. Wide stance with your legs. Bending in the hip joint, pushing your tushy back, activating your core. So it could be blueberries. You could hug your lumbar spine with your core. As you bend down, keep your head up. If you put your head forward, you're going to put tremendous pressure on the thoracic spine, rounding the spine and putting a lot of pressure on the low back muscles to maintain that. So when you bend down, try to bend down as safely as you can to minimize pain and discomfort. Take your blanket off the mat, and let's get the chair. Bringing the chair onto the mat. Now, if you need the chair, hold on to the chair. If you don't need the chair, you can have it there, or you can put it off to the side. So let's warm up our feet to do the standing practice, bringing the toes onto the floor, like the balls of the feet, and then lift those heels up pretty high. Do this one at a time. We're bending our knee, so I'm not going up and down a lot in my body. I'm keeping my body there, so I'm bending my ankle, bending my knee, and actually bringing that into the hip as well. And then flip the toes under, push the foot forward, feel that stretch on the front of your foot, on one foot, and then feel it on the other. And again. And then let's do heel raises. So this, you may need the chair or not. Bring yourself up and down. You can take your elbows alongside your body. If you push your elbows back, the shoulder blades will help support you here. See if you can come up where you know you're pushing into your pinky toe edges too. So you're really loading on the whole entire ball of the foot. And then bring yourself in, stretching the ankle. So a little wider than hip distance, maybe body distance as you roll to the pinky toe edges. and then bring your feet back down. Roll to the pinky toe edges, and then back down. Stay there. And then bring your feet back. So we're going to do mountain, and let's do mountain with a block. So bending down safely to grab your block, bringing your block between your knees or your upper thighs. Look down at your feet. You want your toes going forward, not out to the side, and not wider than the block. So bring your feet forward, squeezing your block, and see what happens when you squeeze your block. Squeeze the block. See how you feel that activation of the midline of the body. Take the hands down alongside your body. Look down, spread your toes, lift your toes, and then put your toes back down onto the ground. Press the balls of the feet into the floor, the toes into the floor, pinky toe edges in the heels. And then make sure your body weight is center, not forward, not to the side, not back. So find that stability at the base of your body. And then squeeze the block. From here, you want your pelvis to go into a neutral position. So can you point the tailbone down towards the ground? Opening of the pelvis, making that in a neutral, not tipping forward, not tipping back. And then reach down with your hands, push your feet into the floor. Now lengthen your spine. Feel your clavicle bones floating up towards the sky. Push your head back so your head is right on top of the torso. And this is Mountain Tadasana. Now, if you are able to challenge yourself with eyes closed, you could try one eye at a time. Or if you could close both of your eyes and let your awareness go up and down your body to feel where your body weight is. Feel where the body weight is in the feet. Feel where the body weight is. Feel if there's any movement in your body. Reach down with your hands, tall with your body. Take one more breath. And then slowly let that go, let that alignment, that arrangement of your spine and your joints go. Bring your block onto the ground. Let's find out without the block. Feel that in your body without the block. We're going to come into tree. So whatever side the chair is on, if you need to use the chair, push your body weight towards the chair if you need it. And then bend the opposite toes, knees out to the side. Bring your foot up in between your ankle and your knee. This is tree. We just came out of the alignment of mountain. Notice how this feels for you here. You could take your hands onto your waist, push your elbows back for a little bit more stability. You could bring your arms out to the side or up into a scarecrow arm position. That'll be helpful, pushing the arms back. Or you may decide to challenge yourself. So if you feel pretty solid in your tree, add some challenge. Head position can add a lot of challenge. Looking to one side, back to center, and then to the other side. Adding a little bit more challenge, start to look up above you, and then back. Let your head go to the other side, and then to the other side. And add that challenge if you're ready for that. And then bring yourself back to center. Let's slowly come out of that side. We're going to come to the other side, so if you do need the chair, you would take the chair to the other side, or just turn your body around so that the other side is near the chair. Pick your toes up. Let's begin from a mountain position. Hands are down, feet are in the ground. Push your body weight to the other side. Bend the toes, knee out to the side, and bring the foot up in between your ankle and your knee. You could do the hands on the waist. You could do the hands out to the side. You could come into the scarecrow. Whatever it is that you need, that's what you want to do. Whatever it is you need. Maybe you're going to challenge yourself and you're going to start looking side to side or up towards the sky. Or maybe it's just a challenge for you to be here. So whatever it is, add whatever it is you need. Make sure you're not dumping in your weight, your hip, so don't push, just don't sit in that hip. Really push out and lengthen from that hip. Take one more breath. And then slowly bring yourself out. Let's shake the legs. So we're going to come into a little challenge in the hips, creating some strength in the hips. Let's come into what's called Warrior 3. Now this is a forward fold position. Now the traditional posture, the traditional Warrior 3 actually is this. We're going to use the chair to find something similar to this in our body. The thing that's really important is that when you lift your leg up, you don't lift your leg out. So your toes don't point out, your toes point down. So you stay in that stability in the hip joint and don't open in the hip. So let's come with the chair in front of us. Bring the feet to face the chair and bring your feet together. So you start with a pretty close stance and you're about maybe a foot distance away or a foot and a half away from the chair. And then the forward fold happens in the body here. So take your hands on the chair, push your tushy back, keep your head forward, feeling that stretch coming into the hamstrings and into the glute muscles when you do this. Now bring yourself forward, bring your hands onto the chair, and you could bring your back arms so your hands could be supported by the back of the chair. This is helpful. You want to make sure now if you're feeling too strong of a stretch in your hamstrings, bend your knees when you're in this. If you could stay in that lengthened knee position, do that. Take your gaze forward and then take the right foot back behind you. So be in the left foot here. Toes are pointing down towards the ground as you lift that right leg up towards the sky. Doesn't matter how high you get. Lift that right leg up and keep those right toes pointing down towards the ground. Now activate the core, so pelvic floor, hug the lumbar spine. And if you'd like, you could take the left hand off the chair. So coming into a Warrior 3 modification. Really activate your core, lift that right leg, flex the right foot. So pull the toes towards you and really reach through the heel. Lift that right leg as high as you can. Activate that right tushy. So squeeze that right buttock to help lift the leg to where you can. And really stabilizing that left side. So the stabilizing muscles are turning on here. Gaze is forward. Take one more breath. To come out, you bend the left leg. Keep your head lifted. Bring your leg down. And then bring yourself slowly all the way up. Heart rate's accelerated, so breathe down to your pelvis to slow down the breath. Let's come to the other side. So take the toes to touch. The big toes are touching, the back heels are separated. And then take your legs, push your tushy back, bending forward in that forward fold. Bring your hands onto the chair. And then take the left toes back and lift that left leg. Flex the foot, toes are pointing down towards the ground. Leg is lifting towards the sky. And the gaze is forward. Hug your lumbar spine. Activate your core, the blueberry. Hug your lumbar spine. Push those lower ribs towards the sky. Turning on that support. Lift that left leg a little higher. Squeeze the buttock of the left leg to lift higher. And then if you'd like to add that right arm, add that right arm. Reach long with the right arm if you're doing that, long with the left leg. You could have a straight right leg or you could put a slight bend in that leg. Strengthening the leg, strengthening the pelvis. Activate that left leg to lift that left tushy. Take one more breath. To come out, you bend that right leg. You bring yourself down. Bring yourself all the way out. Take your hands alongside your body. Find mountain. If you are able to close your eyes, close your eyes. Take one more breath. So let's do the twisted triangle. Take the chair, and the chair, you're going to use the back of the chair. So you want your hand, so let's do the same side. So get your chair so that your right leg can come forward, and your right leg can touch the chair, and your right hand can touch the back of the chair. So move the chair wherever you need to get that to happen. And then bring the right foot forward so that the pinky edge of the right foot is touching the lower part of the right side of the chair. And then take your left leg back, put your right hand on the chair. Look back, your left toes are facing forward, not out to the side. You're about 2.5 to 3 feet apart in your body. Keep your right hand on the chair, and then bending forward safely. Keep your spine long. You're going to start to feel that right glute, that right hamstring. And then take your left hand diagonally across the chair in front of you. Push into the right hand to open up and spiral open your chest towards the back of the chair. Take your right hand on your waist. Now push away from the back of the left foot, the big toe edge. Push and get long in your spine, and then rotate your spine. And then pull that right buttock back. Push away from that left foot, push that right buttock back. Try to keep that left heel on the floor. Lengthen your torso and rotate your torso. Feel all that work in your body. Activate your core. So pubic bone, activate the pelvic floor. Draw that pubic bone up towards the low ribs back. Feel that as you lengthen the right side, push the right tushy back, push away from that left leg to lengthen, to spiral, and to open. Lots of pressure here on that posterior hip. So a lot of side body movement. Really push away to get long. Keep working throughout the whole time you're in the posture. Take one more breath. And then slowly bend that front knee. Keep your head lifted, keep your spine long. Bring yourself forward, bring yourself up and out. We'll go to the other side. So arrange the chair so that the back of the chair and the left leg, or the left leg is going to go forward, and you have the left pinky toe edge touching the back edge of the chair. Left hand is on the chair, and walk that right foot back about 2.5 to 3 feet. Look back and make sure those toes are pointing forward. Then you push your tushy back as you bend forward. Take the right hand diagonally across to the chair, and then push down to get tall in your torso and rotate your torso forward. Bring your right hand on, or your left hand onto your spine, onto your hip. Lengthen your spine, rotate your spine. Bring your awareness to the right foot, the back foot. Push into that pinky toe edge so you could push away to get longer and to get more rotation in your spine. Keep your legs straight. That front leg is straight. Push that back heel into the floor, that back pinky toe edge and big toe edge. And then push the front hip, the left hip, push the tushy cheek back. So you get as much length in your spine, and then you get rotation. So you're wringing out. You may feel a pretty strong stretch in the calf of the back leg. We're stretching our body, so a lot of flexibility, a lot of stretching. It's going to support lymphatic movement through the body, which supports hormones, fat-soluble vitamins, and detoxification and immune function. So wringing your body out, push away, get long, rotate. Strength, flexibility, and balance. Take one more breath. To come out, you bend the front knee and you bring yourself up and out. Go ahead and shake your body. Shake, shake, shake. Just shake, shake, shake everything. Shake, shake, shake. Shake out any tension. Move your hips. And then check in with how you feel. So we're going to come down into Shavasana. I recommend legs up the chair for any tension that was created in the low back during the practice today. So you get whatever you need for your Shavasana. You could do legs up the wall if that's something you'd like, or come onto the ground into a regular Shavasana if that's what you'd like. Now you can practice that loading down. You could even use the chair here to come down when you have the chair. And the more you practice that, the more you keep those joints mobile and keep that function in them so you don't lose it. Coming down onto the ground, bring your legs up the chair or the wall, finding Shavasana in whatever way feels appropriate for you. And once you get here, that's your opportunity to let go. Stay connected to your breath. This is a posture. Keep yourself here, present moment, and let everything relax. Gently begin to deepen your breath. Start to wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. Move the rest of your body so you could slowly bring the knees into the chest, keeping the knees wide, rocking side to side. Bring yourself all the way onto your side. And from here, push yourself up. Coming into a position where we can calm the mind, connect to sound, a humming sound. Bring your hands together, bring your hands to your heart, sit nice and tall, lengthen the back neck, slightly tuck the chin down towards the chest. We're going to do a humming sound. Take an exhale to create space. Inhale deeply. Bring your hands to your forehead, bowing forward in gratitude. Namaste. All right. So, hope that was good for you. I see that some more people came. I'd love to know who's here with me. You're welcome, Kendall. Nice to have you here. Anyone else want to ask me questions, make comments, ask for something, tell me something? When you're live, you get that opportunity. We interact. Lauren, nice to have you here. Awesome. Oh, great. Perfect. Yeah, half moon. That's a pretty challenging one. It really looks pretty simple, but I'll tell you, in my live classes, people struggle with that. To put that weight on their side hip and then to find that posture is a pretty challenge for a lot of people. And it's a balance challenge. And so the fact that we're so close to the ground, I love to practice that and then realize, hopefully help people realize you're so close to the floor. So don't worry so much about trying to refine this posture. So yeah, I love that. All right, ladies. Well, it's so good to have you here. Thanks for joining me live. For those of you that are in the community, I know you are Kendall. For those of you that are not, that's where I am putting a lot of my efforts is in developing my community Stronger Bones lifestyle, really low monthly cost, pretty rich environment, live class, one cooking class a month. Next one coming up is hormone balance through food. And ask me anything. So I have live sessions where we talk about topics important for healthy aging and healthy bones. And I quite often have guest experts. Most of my guest experts are MDs that are functional MDs for us to ask them questions that we want to know answers to, that we can be in control of our health or be an active participant with our physicians. So great community, Stronger Bones lifestyle. If you're not already a member, I don't know if I can put that link in here. Sometimes it lets me and sometimes it doesn't. So let me see if I can put that in here. Don't know why. One day I'll learn how to do all of this. There it is. Okay, so that's the community. You're welcome, Kendall, and you're welcome, Carolyn. And glad to have you here, Lauren, and then whoever else here that's not saying hello, but practices with me. I'll meet people and they'll say, I've been practicing with you. I go live on Thursdays, but they don't say hi. So for all the shy people, hello. I hope you have a great day. All right, bye, everyone.